Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is John, and today I'm going to explain the basics on how to play Baccarat. You don't really need to know when either side draws the cards. You just bet on banker or the player side or the banker side, I should say. And the dealer will take care of the cards and everything. So I'm going to just show you a few hands, explain it. Each side gets 2 cards. Player side goes first. The 10 count cards and face cards are counted as 0. So this is 4. The banker has a natural 9. If either side has an 8 or a 9, there will be no draw. So in this case, the banker will win 9 over 4. If either side has an 8 or a 9, that's a natural, and there will be no draw. Here the player has 2. And the banker has 5. Okay, so if the player has 6 or less, it's going to draw. So a card for the player. Player is reduced to 1. And so the banker has 5. So the only time the banker is going to draw a third card on 5 is when the player's third card is a 4, 5, 6, or 7. Since this card is not a 4, 5, 6, or 7, the banker is going to stay on 5. The banker wins 5-1. Again, you don't need to know these rules. I'm just kind of explain it to you about when the banker draws a third card and when the banker does not draw a third card. Here the player has 4, the banker has 1. So this is going to be a 2-card draw. 1 card here for the player, 1 card here for the banker. Player remains at 4, card for the banker here. Banker remains at 1. So in this case, the player wins 4/1. Show you a few hands, try so you can get the hang of it. Here the player shows nothing. This is nothing, not 0, it's just nothing. Banker has 4. So whether or not the banker draws a third card here, it depends on what this third card is here. So if this card here is a 2 through 7, then the banker will take a third card here. It's not, so it's a 0. So the banker's going to stay on 4. The banker's going to win 4-0. Just depending on this third card here is whether the banker takes a third card here. Had this card been a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, the banker would have drawn here. Player shows 6 and stands no matter what. Banker has a 3. So a card for the banker here. Banker's reduced to 1, so the player wins 6/1. Remember, if either side has an 8 or a 9, there will be no draw. Here the player shows 1, the bank has 2, so in this case it's going to be a 2-card draw. A card here for the player and a card here for the banker. The player is increased to 4. And the banker is reduced to 0. So in this case, the banker wins 4/0. 4/0. The player goes first, whether they're going to draw cards or not. Here the player has 7 and stands. And the banker has 7 and stands, so it's a tie hand, 7-7. Trying to get to some interesting ones. Here the player has 4. Banker has 3. Okay, in this situation, the player is going to draw a card first, and the banker is going to draw a card if the third card here is any card but an 8. It's always going to draw a card on 3. Always going to draw a card on 3, except for if the third card here is an 8. It's called a 38 special. 3, 8. So if this card's an 8, the banker's going to stay on 3. It's not, so the player remains at 4. Card for the banker. Banker's increased to 9. So the banker wins 9/4. Again, had this card been an 8, the banker would have stayed on 3. And the player would have won 4-3. Player shows 1. Banker has 1. Okay, so this is going to be a 2-card draw. Card for the player here and a card for the banker here. players reduced to nothing. 1 and 9 is nothing. So a card for the banker. Banker wins 1 over nothing. Here the player shows 3. Banker has 4. Okay, this is another one where the banker's going to draw a third card here if this third card here is a 4, 5, 6, or 7. So if this player's third card is a 4, 5, 6, or 7, the banker will draw on 5. If it's not a 4, 5, 6, or 7, the banker's going to stay on 5. Okay, the players are reduced to nothing. This is a 7. I don't know if you can see it. So since this card is a 4, 5, 6, or 7, the banker's going to draw here. Even though the player is reduced to nothing, and the banker's winning right now 5 to nothing, the banker still has to take a card. The banker's increased to 6. So the banker wins 6 over nothing. That was an interesting one. Here the player has 6 and stands, so the player's going to stand on 6. Banker wins with a natural 8. Natural 8 over 6. I'm just trying to show y'all a few hands so y'all can get the gist of the game. Player shows 2. Banker has nothing. So again, this is going to be a 2-card draw. A card for the player here and a card for the banker here. Player is increased to 7. Card for the banker. So here the players win 7 over 2. Sorry. Here the players natural 9. There will be no draw. However, natural 9 also on the banker side. Players natural 9, banker's natural 9. It's a tie hand, 9 to 9. Players show nothing. Bankers have 5. So again, the bankers have 5. So we know this has to be 4, 5, 6, or 7. The banker's going to draw. It is a 4, 5, 6, or 7. So the banker's going to draw a card here. Bankers win 6 over 5. Players show 4. Banks have 3. The bankers have 3. So remember, when the banker has 3, it's always going to draw a third card, except the one time if this card is an 8 over here. If this card is an 8, that's a stop card. It's not, so the players are reduced to 3. So a card here for the bankers. Bankers win 5 over 3. Players show 5. Banker have 1. So okay, it's going to be a 2-card draw. Card for the player and a card for the banker. Oh, if I get the card. Players, it's a 6, so players are reduced to 1. The banker's still going to draw. Bankers win 6 over 1. Well, I was hoping to get to some interesting hands. Not yet. Players show 4. Bankers have nothing. Again, it's going to be a 2-card draw. Card for the player, card for the banker. Players are up to 5. Players win here 5 over 3. Nothing really interesting to show you yet, but it's just a matter of time. It's be something. Natural 9, no draw. Players win natural 9 over nothing. Players show natural 9 again. Oh my goodness. Players win natural 9 over 6. Players show 5. Banks have natural 9. Banker wins natural 9 this time. Players show natural 8, no draw. Players win natural 8. Alright, I'm going to show you some different scenario here. Alright, this is for the sake of argument. Players show 2 over here. Bankers have 4. So the banker's going to draw on 4 when the third card here is a 2 through 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. So the players have 2. Card for the players. Okay, this card is not a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. So the banker's going to stay on 4. Bankers win 4 over 2. I just wanted to show y'all some hands. I just can't get any cooperation from this shoe. So 4, 5. I'll show you the 6. 6 against like this. Okay, so the players have 1, the bank has 6. When the bankers have 6, it's only going to draw a third card over here when this card over here is a 6 or 7, so it's pretty rare. The only time the banker's going to draw on 6 is if the third card over here is a 6 or 7. Players have 1. Oh Lord, how many cards am I going to draw? It's an 8, so I don't know if you can see. So the player's going to win 9 to 6. Okay, let's say here the players have 1, the bankers have 6. Say this third card over here is a 7. The players are increased to 8, but the bankers must draw on 6 over here since this card here is a 6 or a 7. So it's 8 to 8 in this time. It's a tie hand. Alright, see if I can get some luck from this shoe now. Show y'all some stuff. Players show 7 and stand. Bankers have 1. So the bankers are going to draw on totals of 5 or less, always. When the player stands, the bankers are always going to draw on totals of 5 or less. So here the players win 7 over 2. Here the players show 3, the bankers have 2. So again, this is going to be a 2-card draw. I'm not going to waste the cards. Only got a couple of hands left of this shoe. Players show 3, bankers have nothing. Again, a 2-card draw. Players increase to 4, players win 4 to 3. Here the players show 5, the bankers have 4. Okay, so this is a good one. The banker's only going to draw a third card here when this third card here is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. So it's only going to draw, the banker's only going to draw on 4 when this player draws a third card of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Okay, it's not a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the banker's going to stand on 4. Even though it's losing 6 to 4, the banker stays on 4 because this third card is an ace. So the players win 6 to 4. I was trying to show you that it doesn't matter if the bankers are winning or losing. It's set rules on whether or not the banker draws a third card. Player shows nothing. Bankers have nothing. So that's a boring hand. It would have been a 2-card draw. 1 card for each side. Here the players show nothing. Bankers have 2. Again, it's a 2-card draw. Let me switch the cards around like this. Players show 7. Banker has 5. So the player is going to stand on totals of 6 or higher. So the player stands. The banker is going to draw a third card because its total is 5 or less. So the players win 7 to 5. Here the players show nothing. Man, nothing but monkeys in it. A face card or a 10-count card is called a monkey in this game. Players show 9, there'll be no draw. Players win 9 over 1. Here, players 9. No, I'm going to mix these up some kind of way. Players show 7. Bank has 6. Okay, this is an interesting hand. Player shows 7 and stands, and bank has 6. So when the player does not draw a third card, the banker is always going to stay on 6. Remember, the only time the banker stands on 6, only time the banker draws on 6 is if the player draws a card and it's a 6 or 7. So players here win 7 to 6. I'm going to repeat myself. The only time the banker draws on 6 is if the player draws a third card and it's a 6 or a 7. So here it's called barbecue. 7 over 6 is called barbecue, no draw. I don't know why they call it barbecue, they just call it barbecue. Here players show 2, banker has a natural 9. Let me switch these around here. Player shows 6, banker has 5. So player is going to stay on totals of 6 or higher. So the player stands, the banker is going to draw a card here because it's 5 or less. So here the players would win 6 over 1. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll be glad to attempt to answer them. I do this for a living. Player shows 7 and stands. Bank has 2. So player 7 and stands. Banker's going to draw a third card here. Players win 7 over 2. Here the players show 3. Players have 3. Bank has 4. Okay, this is a good one. The bank has 4. So the only time it's going to draw a third card here is when the player's third card is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Players draw a third card when the bankers draw a third card when the player's third card is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. It's not a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, so the bank is going to stay on 4. The bankers win 4 over 3. Here, players show nothing. Bank has nothing. It's going to be a 2-card draw. Card, card. Players remain at 0. Baccarat. Nothing, nothing. Pretty sure that's called Baccarat. Players show nothing again. Bankers have 4. Remember the rule on 4? Draw the third card. The bankers will draw a third card when the player's third card is 2 through 7. It is a 2 through 7, so the banker's going to draw a third card here. Bankers win 6 over 3. Players natural 8. There will be no draw. Players win natural 8 over 1. Shoes over. Player shows 2. Bankers have 2. So that's a boring one. Let's do it like this. Players show nothing. Bank has 4. Card for the player. It's a 4. So remember, when the bank has 4, it draws when this third card is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. So the banker's going to draw a card here. Players were up to 4. The bankers had 4, but they drew a card and reduced to 2. So the players win 4 over 2. Unfortunate if you had banker. Players show nothing. Bankers have 2. It's going to be a 2-card draw. So that's not much fun. See if we can arrange it. Yeah, not much we can do with that. Here the players show 7 and stand. Bankers have 2. So it's going to be a card for the banker over here. Players stand on 7. Card for the banker over here. Bankers are reduced to nothing. 2 and 8's nothing. So the players win 7 to nothing. This might be the last hand, guys. Players show 1. Banker. When banker wins, natural 8. Let's do one more. Might run out of cards, so. Oh. Player, nothing. Banker, 5. Okay, so this is a good one. The bankers have 5. So remember, the banker's going to draw a third card over here on 5 when the player's third card is a 4, 5, 6, or 7. It's not a 4, 5, 6, or 7, so the banker's going to stay on 5. 5, bankers win 5 over 1. Let's see. Players show 5. Bankers have 4. Okay, that's a good one. So remember, the banker's going to draw a third card when the player's third card is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On 4, it is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, so the banker's going to draw. Bankers increase to 7. Bankers win. Wait, my bad. 7 to 7. I wasn't really paying attention. The players increase to 7, and the bankers have 7. So it's a tie hand, 7 to 7. Just trying to do a video and explain it without really paying attention to the cards. Here, players have nothing. Bankers have nothing. 2-card draw. Nothing. So the bankers would win 1 to nothing. I forgot. I neglected to tell you, if players have 6 and bankers have 6, it's a tie hand, 6 to 6. And likewise, if the bankers have 7, players have 6, players stand on 6, banker wins 7 to 6. Either way, 7 to 6 is a tie. Players, nothing. Bankers, natural 9. Players, 3. Banker's nothing, so it's going to be a 2-card draw. Let's turn it around the other way though. Let's say the players have 1, bank has 3. The only time the banker's going to draw a card always, except the one time, if this card here is an 8. If this card here is an 8, the banker's going to stay on 3. Remember I said 38 special? The bankers will stay on 3 if this third card is an 8. It's not an 8, so the banker's going to draw on 3. Bankers increase to 6. So the bankers win 6 over 1. So there's really only a few situations when the banker has to decide where they're going to draw. When the banker has 3, and it's always going to draw a third card. It's always going to draw a third card on 3, unless the player's third card is an 8. When the banker has 4, it's going to draw a third card when the player's third card is a 2 through 7. When the banker has 5, it's going to draw a third card when the player's third card is a 4, 5, 6, or 7. When the banker has 6, it's only going to draw on 6. The only time banker's going to draw on 6 is when the player's third card is a 6 or 7. Otherwise, it's going to stand on 6. Alright guys, if y'all have any other questions, let me know in the comments. If you please consider subscribing to my channel. I do all kind of stuff: hotel video reviews, restaurant reviews, gambling stuff, Pai poker, Baccarat, you name it. Just anything I think might be interesting. I spend a lot of time here in Long Beach, Mississippi, which is right outside of Biloxi, about 15 or 16 miles down the road where I just got off of work. And thankful for that job, by the way. And yeah, just consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't, and drop me a like if you can, and I'll see you next time. Peace.